welcome to a new video on the Sugarido channel. My name is Irene and today it's time for another Q&A Tuesday video. A special edition. It's going to be a Dutch edition because I got 3 questions in about the Netherlands, about food, about studio, so I thought let's combine them into one Q&A and answer all 3 of them. So the first 2 are from Sunshine Jenny and Johan Dam, and they're kind of in the same direction. So Sunshine is asking where are you located, and Johan is asking is it possible to visit in your studio if we ever come to the Netherlands? Which town do you live in? So to answer those, I live indeed in the Netherlands, and I live specifically in Lemmer. That is the city, what's called, well, it's not officially a city, it's a village, but it's called Lemmer, and I love it here. We have now been living here for almost 2 years, and it's awesome. So it's really a nice place to be in the summer. There's lots of water, and so I can go on my paddleboard from the other side of the street, and I love it a lot. And this is also where the studio is, because the studio is built next to our house. And the question from Joanne is it possible to visit in your studio when we ever come to the Netherlands? And I get that question more often. So people say, I'm on holidays in the Netherlands, can I come and visit? Well, I think that will be possible in the future, but not right now. So just with the studio not completely being finished, and I'm working on so many projects over here, so it's not really organized and set up to have I was looking for the words, have people come over. But I think in the future I might organize open studio days, so that there are specific dates that you can come over and visit the studio. That would be nice. I did have that in my old studio in Rijswijk, and I also had high tea parties there for crochet and get together for crafting. But I haven't set that up over here, also because we moved here when COVID was happening, so that's still going on at the moment, of course. Yeah, so maybe in the future, but not right now. And then Marie Rousseau had a question, and I thought this was a funny one. It is completely not quilting related, but I said you can ask me anything on Tuesdays, so this one also goes. So the question is, I have a non-quilting question. I went to Amsterdam once for a few days, not long enough, and had bitterballen. Yes, that's awesome. If you get to the Netherlands, try bitterballen. They are one of the best foods I've ever had. Do people in the Netherlands make those at home ever, or are they the sort of food you only get when you go to a pub? I think they are the sort of food that you get when you go to a pub. So bitterballen. Bitterballen is a kind of a bowl. It's filled with some kind of stew. So most of the original bitterballen is filled with some kind of meat stew. And I will just place a picture over here of a bitterbal. And so the filling can be anything. You can have a goat cheese bitterbal, you could have a mushroom bitterbal, but the most common one is with meat inside. And yeah, you eat them when you have a beer in the afternoon at a pub or something. You have a bitterbal, and they are extremely hot, so very warm inside, not hot as in spicy. So if you try them ever when you get to the Netherlands, please make sure to wait until they cool off a little bit, because they are deep fried. So it's a little ball, and there is a layer of breadcrumbs around it, and then they are deep fried. So I have never made them from scratch at home, but I did make them when I lived at my parents. They have a deep fryer. We don't have one over here, but when you have a at-home deep fry thing where you can make fries in, you can also make bitterballen in there. So then you can just buy a bag of frozen bitterballen at the supermarket, and you can make them at home. but I've never tried to make it from scratch. I think they're kind of mystical things. I don't know how you make them, because you first have to make a stew of something. It could be from vegetables or mushrooms or meat, and then that stew needs to be turned into bowls. And when you would have such a bowl, then you would coat it with flour, and then egg, and then breadcrumbs. So that's the outside layer. I understand how that goes, but to have something go from a thick stew to a bowl that you then can deep fry, I think you have to freeze and make bowls some kind of way. But I've never tried to make it myself. But if you want, I'm sure you can find recipes for bitterballen to try and make it at home. So of course it's possible, Maria, to make it at home, but I think it's quite hard to make them from scratch. So, funny question, talking about bitterballen on the Sugardoo channel. But yeah, that were those 3 questions combined. So here it is. If you have any question about quilting, Sugardoo, anything you want to ask me, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will be happy to answer it in another Q&A Tuesday video. Hope to see you again next week. Bye!